Yo! Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on this new map. I think it's called Omen Duel. It was released a few weeks ago, but they've just added it to the ranked ladder this week. Today we've got Issy playing 39Y Soviet, if you don't see that often, going up against Axis playing 101st US, which is a fairly popular division. So we'll cover the deck reviews, then the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so here's the deck review for I Am Salt, also goes by the name Axis, and he's playing 101st Airborne. He's not playing 2nd Panzergrenade, so absolutely crazy, absolutely wild. I mean, what do I mean? He does this all the time. So let's go through it tab by tab. So first things first, you don't really need 3 cards of supply when you're playing this Airborne division, because they don't really get that many tanks or anything. He has built it with quite a bit of artillery. But yeah, they don't really get that many tanks. I don't really think you need 3 cards. And then between your supply situations, these are your 2 supply helos. This one is 65 points per 2,000 supplies, and this one is 90 points per 2,000 supplies. And they're both supply helos. The advantage is if you lose this, it's not a big deal. But you just use these ones and park them quite far back and don't get RT'd, basically. Then use these to bring it up to the front line. So your only 2 wheeled supplies or, ground-based supplies are this, which is 300 supply for 20 points, or this, which is 500 for 25. So, and this is slower. So there's really no point in this at all. It used to be able to get it with a Chinook, and so you could just spawn 20 Chinooks at the start of the game. But once they got rid of that, there's not really much point in this unless you really need a 3rd card of supply, in which case I'd just go for another Helo supply anyway. So yeah, this is obviously the better option. Then in terms of your CVs, Helo supplies are for silly billies. I've only seen one top player use... Sorry, Helo CVs are for silly billies. I've only seen one top player use Helo CV, and that's Fortitude Fence. He does use it well. All the other top players use ground-based CVs, so this is just the obvious one that you want. 3 per card. Oh, it's the only one. That's not a Helo CV. Infantry, so more CVs. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CVs, so that's all good. In terms of your CV options, you've got 3 per car, 3 per... oh, excuse me. I will edit that part out. It's hay fever season. That's why my eyes are so red all the time, by the way. I do apologise. They seem to be a little bit better today. So I didn't bother going outside. I go outside and it's just like, ugh. Anyway. 3 per card, 3 strength is not great. 2 per card, 12 strength with a flash. So this is the only flash in the game. That's that thing Arnie uses, right, in whatever it's called, Mall Cop. And it's the only flash in the game that's not on a 5 HP squad. So this is actually a very effective anti-infantry squad. The only problem is, because it's a CV, your enemy sees this and immediately buys a bomber and just, kamikazes into it to try and take it out. But they've got a lot of HP, so if you can micro it, it's actually a really nice squad. Then 2 per card. So this, I think, is my favourite. Although I usually bring this one anyway. This is a good one because it's 9 strength with smoke and laws, because this doesn't have anti-tank and it doesn't have smoke, so it's definitely a frontline kind of unit. I've seen people bring this and then a regular infantry CV and just use this like infantry, and it's really not bad in that role. You can also do that with this one, which is 12 per card, special forces, so it's faster, and it's got AT. So this is the most popular one. But this is, 15 points cheaper, and this is 40 points cheaper. So if you want to absolutely min-max, I think this is the best one. But this is fun to use because it's really good against infantry, difficult to keep alive. And this is fun to use for the same reason. You can use it as like a frontline squad. And I have seen people bring... get rid of this, for example, and bring 2 CV cards or something like that. So they've actually just got an overabundance of CV, so they can afford to use them as frontline squads. I've seen that happen. I've seen it work. Yeah, so then we've got 2 cards of TOE2s, which, to be honest, I think you do actually need. Like, you do lose capability if you get rid of these to add more CVs. 2 cards of TOE2s, and they're Aero TOE2s. They've got 1 vet for free, so not bad at all. Nice card. And you do struggle against tanks, so I think having 2 cards of these can make sense. Then MP Patrol, sadly do not come in a military police vehicle, and neither do these, but yeah, this is the better one because it's got the recoilless rifle, which can shoot at infantry and vehicles. Then we've got Aerofire Team AT4 in a Humvee, so I think this is a good idea. Basically, it's good to have a cheap squad with AT, and you can just use it to just block a road. And the AT4 is a nice launcher. It one-shots BMP2s on the front. Nice accuracy, decent range, nice suppression. So you just you could like block a road with it. You don't use them offensively, but you can use them offensively. But it's not, that's not really what it's for. It's for a very cheap way to make sure the enemy can't do a flank, and you know, just to ambush people. Like you can literally just send one of these all the way around the side and just try and hit them with some AT4s. Why not? It's 35 points if you sell the transport. Then we've got 2 cards of Aero Rifles Dragon. So these are 9 men with a Dragon 2. Dragon 2's shoot in the forest now. I say now, it's been about 6 months. Sorry, it's 30 Celsius in here. It's 30 Celsius in here. So, if you see me, like, scratching my head, it's because I'm sweating balls. As you can tell, this is not really the most cooling thing. You might say, why the hell did they all wear it in the desert? It's to keep the sun off. Yeah, so Aero Rifles Dragon. Nice squad, 9 strength, 2 machine guns, so 4 plus 7 shooty power, 11 shooty power. A machine gun is 2 shooty power. And this fires in the same room. Oh, I need to report that, actually. The Yujin guys have really been up in their game since Broken Arrow. So, yeah, let me just write that down. M249 saw missing CQC trait on icon, even though it has it in the game. So that's cool. Then we've got standard aero rifles, which he's actually not bringing in a helicopter, which is kind of weird. I suppose he's already got something in a helicopter anyway. I would be bringing the aero engineers, frankly. I don't think you need yet another infantry squad. You got plenty of those, so I'd be bringing the aero engineers in the Humvee, and they come at 1 vet for free, and that's going to help you win your CQC fights. This does not shoot in the same building, but the whole point is they've got satchels. They come at 1 vet for free, so you've actually got loads of them. You might even want to up-vet them. I do see people play this div with basically all the infantry up-vetted. But then you might have to get rid of one of these. Just, you know, if you're not running out of infantry, it's dead simple, actually. First game, up-vet this one. Have a few games, see how it goes, right? Buy these ones before you buy these ones. Are you running out? Up-vet this one if you're not. Do you know what I mean? So that's how you can adapt your deck over time. It does require you to play a lot of games, but it just depends on your playstyle. If you're very aggressive with your infantry, which I am, I always lose mine. That's why I tend to have stuff at 1 vet. But yeah, aero engineers is a must-have, and I think you need it more than aero rifles, which isn't really that great a squad. So it's got 11 shooty power for 55 points, whereas this has 11 shooty. What did I say? 14. This has 11 shooty power and a Dragon 2, and this has 16 shooty power and an AT4. And the AT4 gets extra ammo because it's a big squad, unlike the Gurkha rifles, who do not get extra ammo on the Lore 80. Sips water condescendingly. And these are coming in Chinooks. And yeah, the Chinooks are nice, actually, because it's got 10% ECM and whatnot. It's actually quite useful to just keep around. And then Green Berets ODA. So Special Forces benefit more from veterancy than other units. Now, considering that this goes 3-2, right? So you're only losing 1, and it's a very expensive squad anyway, so you don't want that many of them. So I prefer bringing this at max vet as well. The only problem is the enemy will focus this with his bombers and his helicopters and his artillery. This is just a magnet for punishment, sort of like these CV squads. And so you've got to make sure you've got a good AA net before you start flinging these guys around. But look, this is 4 shooty power, this is 4 shooty power. 11 plus 4 is 15, plus 4 is 19 quick maths, and it's max vet special forces. So they're very, very powerful, and they've got 8 AT4s because that one extra guy is carrying 2 AT4s. And this is like a special Chinook that has 20% ECM. It has, so special forces on helicopters doesn't make them faster. Just something to keep in mind. Arty, so I don't really think you need 4 howitzers. I do remember when I used to watch Axis back in the day, he used to bring 4 howitzers on second Panzer, but now he brings the 203s, which are just way better. I think it was me who told him to do that. I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't. Either way, why not 2 howitzers? Or if you want to do some smoky stuff, right? You can either bring this, or you can, bring some, do something like that. Why not? And then you can get some smoking on the go. You can smoke with these, just not as often, right? And if you're smoking with it, you're not shooting somebody. So yeah, I'd either be bringing 2 of these at 2 vet, or this and a mortar, or this and a mortar. You can sort of use these as smoke launchers. It's just they're a lot more expensive than the mortars, and you don't really get much out of it. Although with corrected shot, they can kill like Conkers teams and stuff, whereas this is literally just for smoking. Between them, I mean, it depends how much smoky you want to do, right? Like, you could get this and then it would be super smoky or whatever, I don't know. The thing is, this actually, the smoke gets on target faster because it's got a nicer trajectory. So even though this aims in 6 seconds, this aims in 13, the smoke will actually land from this first. The disadvantage is it's a lot more expensive. Okay, it's 25 points more expensive than this and 20 points more expensive than this. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. Something like that. Or do the double vet on the 155s, and then if you need smoke, you can still use those. It's just it's not as effective. Yes, you want to bring all the meeps at 1 vet. Meep Abrams, this is your fire support. You'll note that you don't really have much fire support. You don't get grenade launchers, right? That'd be really useful, actually. Don't get those. I've seen people bring this, so you can have more fire support. And yeah, the Humvee tow is better than the Mule I-tow, which is very slow and only has an I-tow. This obviously costs more, but it's well worth it for that tow too, and that extra speed. Recon, so basically Humvee Delta goes faster than other, because it's Special Forces ground vehicles, goes faster. So this card, you want one of them at 2 vet in the Special Forces Humvee, because then it's the fastest unit in the game. And you will get to some crazy places at the start of the game. Typically, you want to assist it with something like this to make sure you actually keep it, you know where the enemy is, because you won't know the timings at the start, because it's completely different, because it goes so fast. But you do lose 2 availability, right? So you only do it on 1. And then the other one, you bring in the grenade launcher Humvee, because you need the grenade launchers. Right? You need the grenade launchers. So this is the fastest guys in the game, but you only need 2 of the fastest guys in the game, really, because of this, right, at max vet, and then you bring the others in the grenade launcher, and then you've got a nice 2 vet grenade launcher, and you still get plenty of delta force, so that's good. Between your helo choices, 3 availability exceptional optics, 2 availability with hellfires, which is useful, but if it dies, it dies very easily. And then this is 2 availability with very good optics, but it's got 40% ECM, 8 HP, and the jamming trait. So this is very useful for 101st, because you send this first, and then behind that is your Apache. This spots and takes damage for the Apache, and will hopefully see the plane quicker. I'm not sure if it actually does have better air optics, but at least the enemy plane might shoot this one first. You'll see it first anyway, because you're slightly in front, and then the Apache is behind, and the Apache does all the killing. Enemy AA will shoot this before they shoot the Apache, and because it's got 40% ECM, usually the AA will miss, even if it hits. Unless it's an Eyehawk or a Buck, you'll survive, and then you can leave. So that's the combo. Then Aero Scouts for just some nice infantry recon. 10 HP, very good squad. M60s are the worst machine gun in the game, by the way. There's belt-fed and magazine-fed, 7.62 and 5.56. For machine guns, 7.62 beats 5.56. For rifles, it's the other way around. And for all machine guns, magazine-fed beats belt-fed, which gets a lot of people very upset. I don't really care. But why? What? Anyway, the M60 is in a league of its own. It's just worse. So, hey... AA tab, so you're missing something out here, right? So you don't get any infantry fire support, so you need this. You need this to shoot infantry, and it's very good at it because it comes at 1 vet by default. You get 7 of them at 1 vet. Chappie's great. Stinger's great, but I'd be bringing it in the Mule because the Mule has a 50 cal and you need extra fire support for your guys. So Helo tab. So this is where we're going to have to make some changes. We're going to have to make some sacrifices, right? That's 3, that's 3. You got to lose a helicopter. I'd pick the hogs. So you've already got some hogs here. And then you can bring your pivads, and then you can win the ground game against the enemy infantry because this thing will melt enemy infantry. This is your IFV. This is your fire support. It's kind of annoying to tow it around and everything. You can't sell the transport and whatnot. It's not cheap, but it's very good at killing infantry. Then, yeah, so the Apache ATAS is the nice one because it's got stingers on it. But yeah, Apache. For Apaches, the DAP is kind of good because it's Special Forces and Max Vet. It's basically just got the Apache gun on it. It's just this is 65% accuracy and this is 95% accuracy. The other guns on it don't really do anything. And it's got 8 HP, which used to be a liability, but then they dropped Apache HPs to 8. So now this is just the same, and it's 2 per card, so yeah, you might as well bring it, it's nice. I have seen people bring the little birds, but it's not Broken Arrow with those flipping killer egg things that survive a Verba hit, Stinger hit, and then just kill you. In this, they die in 1 hit, so they're not very useful. Every time you use them, you'll lose 1. So you got to use them all at once, and then you just keep losing them. You just keep losing. You just keep losing them. So I don't think they're that useful. Although the GAU 19 is actually really not bad. Air. So Eagles for air superiority, but basically you want 1 bomber. You really want this bomber. It's not great, but it does reload in 2 minutes, and sometimes the enemy has a breakthrough, and you need a bomber. You don't use it offensively at all. You just keep it in your back pocket for when you really need it. Sometimes you will really wish you had this, and so you can either lose the Phantom and get it, although given that the Eagles now are better because the Sparrows go further, and this also has a lot of Sparrows on it, or you can lose one of the Eagles and get it. And the idea is, expensive one, cheap one, bomber. Or you can have expensive one, bomber, but it means that sometimes you won't be able to get a fighter out because this is 270, you get 260 a minute. So I prefer it this way around, but I would not be leaving home without this bomber because it's just like a get out of jail free card. It's kind of like I don't know if you played that new Belgian division Div Mob that doesn't have any helicopters. There's so many occasions where you're like, oh no, I need a helicopter. Oh, and it's the same thing here with the bomber. You need this bomber. So I hope that helps. Switching to his opponent's deck, we've got Issy, and he's playing 39Y, a division you don't see very often because 79Y is just a better version of 39Y. A lot of 39Y's cool tools have ended up elsewhere, so the SE-27S used to only be in this division, now it's in loads of them. And the Repair anti-tank gun, which he hasn't brought, used to only be in this division, now it's in loads of them. 39Y also used to get the BMP-3, now it doesn't. So it's a tough div to play, honestly. We'll go through it tab by tab. So 3 cards of supply makes sense because this is like a late game, heavy tanks constantly division, artillery constantly division. You can even... Why does that take so long to reload? It's ridiculous. Anyway, you can even do something like this. If you've got 3 cards of supply and just play it really slow and get the grad out. I think it's worth it, but it's up to you. Maybe you don't like it, maybe you just want because this really does slow you down. It's basically like 3 tanks worth of artillery, almost 2.5, whereas the other one is, less than 2, if you do it the other way around, the double Akatsi or whatever. So yeah, it's up to you if you think this is worth it. And then a Mortar for Smoke. Sorry, we skipped the first 2 tabs. 3 cards of supply, yes, makes a lot of sense. And then, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what you can do is swap this out for this one, and then you can buy 2, and you still have 6 CVs, which is a nice number of CVs, but you can buy 2 of these for the price of that one, more or less, give or take 10, and so you can, just get 2 of these out at the start, and it's got the same road speed, right? Off-road speed is slow, and then once they've capped the zones, you can bring them back and put them next to your arty. Especially if you're, whichever way you do it, you could have arty with your you could have one with your Akatsias and one with your grads, or you could just have one with both Akatsias if you keep the double up vet. Nothing wrong with the double up vet. And then, yeah, for supply, I mean, these are basically your only options. This is more easy. It's faster to use than this one, so that's why it's 2 of these and 1 of these. That's how I do it as well. You could do, you know, 2 MTLB. What the heck? Why can't I? You used to be able to, like, drag and... Okay, that's weird. Yeah, whatever. Moving on. So, tracked CV, and it was a tracked CV, tracked CV, tracked CV. You want a wheeled CV, so you can get to places fast if you need to. Ta-da! I've just saved you 10 points and given you a BTR 60PB, which is a pretty nice vehicle, actually. The KPVT is pretty good. Other options, so yeah, 4 men with AT and smoke, 4 men with better AT but no smoke, and that's it. So you might as well get the smoke one. Metis squad, really good. The Metis isn't what it used to be, but it's still very useful. It goes further than a regular rocket launcher. One shot's a warrior. Bring it in the BTR 60PB. It's much better than the Gaz. Not only is it faster, it's got the guns. BMP2s, very nice. And then... Do you want this? Is this what you want in life? It doesn't have smoke. It's up to you. You can do it like this, or you can, because you've got a wheeled infantry AT. The thing is, this actually can fire in forests now. They didn't used to be able to, but they can now. It's been a long time since they changed that, but us OGs will remember. So you've got a wheeled infantry with AT anyway, so you can get more tracked stuff, but don't you want more BMP2s? Oh yeah, you only get 2 cards on this division anyway, so you don't have a choice. Ha! Wow. Or you could get the Pulmachiki, I think. A nice one. 45. 40. 5 points more, your anti-infantry capacity is much improved. And I think it's worth it, personally. You do lose an availability, but I do like the Pulmachiki. And look, you can even bring it in the same transport. So, and you can still buy 3 a minute if you want to. So I prefer that. Saperi RPO in the BTR 60PB. So if you want it to like stick around and fight, you want it at 1 vet. But if you just want it to shoot RPO and you always have another infantry unit with it to take the fire and be in front to take the suppression, then you can have it at no vet. So just keep in mind that if you're having it at no vet, you need to always use it with another infantry unit. Which you should be doing anyway. Because what if a tank comes, you don't have any AT? Conkers, yes, bring it at no vet. You can bring in the BTR 60PB, but for this it tends to be you just unload it in a place and then leave it there for... Once it shoots, you should move buildings, but apart from that, it stays in roughly the same place for the rest of the game, so this can be a bit superfluous, so I think I bring mine in the UAS as well. And then the 30mm grenade launcher, great for locking down an area, stopping your enemy from getting to you. Nice piece of kit, this. Arty we spoke about. Tanks, so the T-80B, you can buy 1 a minute. The T-80BV, for an extra 15 points, gets 1 more HP. What does this mean? This will die in 2 hits to a TOW-2, and the enemy does have TOW-2s. TOW-2s are very common. This will survive 2 hits from a TOW-2. But yeah, generally you buy these first and then you swap into these just because you can get these out faster. Not having the BRDM2 Conkers is very sad. This is a very nice defensive tool, but instead he's gone for the Sturm S, which has mediocre stealth instead of good, but it's got the Kokon, which is pretty lit, actually. So yeah, this is very useful if you can get it to work. The only problem I've got with it is like reloads for 10 seconds, and it only has a salvo length of 1. Whereas this, yeah, reloads for 15, but it will fire 5 before it has to do that. But this is, you know, it's got more range. The pen is the same, but it's got more range, but it's got less stealth. So, yeah, I mean, either one can work. I just prefer this. Or this, which has the same range, but less pen, but more accuracy, and the missile's faster, and it's got good stealth. And it's got a gun on it. The only issue is it actually costs more, because you need the transport with it, so it's 95, and it's towed, so it's more micro. But yeah, this thing can work. And it's like, it's the novelty. It's like the only thing left in this division that it doesn't come up anywhere else. Because like this got added to a bunch of divs. Yeah. What can I say? Recon tab. So this is a similar story to the one on 101st Airborne. It's literally the same except the packed one. 8 HP, 40% ECM. Helps you with your helicopters, which he has brought a few of. The alternative is, so I actually prefer this one because it's faster, it's got exceptional optics, it's got more availability, and it's cheaper. It's just it doesn't have the ECM. So I prefer this one. It doesn't have the ECM, but it's 30 points cheaper. You get one more, and it looks better. It's better at looking. It's better at looking, and it's faster. 205. Oh wait, what am I saying? That's 205 as well. My bad. I think I might have been clicked on this one. So I prefer this one, but this can work. Motorized Resvedka in the Resvedka BMP 1P at no vet. So basically the advantage of this is that it's got mediocre stealth with a unspeakable he who shall not be named ATGM. Okay, whatever. Resvedka Saperi. So you do not have exceptional optics. No, hang on. You do not have airborne forward deployment. You only have recon forward deployment. So you want to make sure that this can get there as fast as possible. So the gas goes at 90, the BTR 60 goes at 100, and because it's satchels, you want them in the fight. You know, running up to people and throwing satchels at them, being in the same building as them, because this will fire within the same building, which isn't actually reflected on the RPK 74, same thing as SAW. I need to report that. You want it at 1 vet and the BTR 60. And then this, you know, it's a nice piece of kit, but you've already got helicopters and whatnot, and you need this. You need so, ooh, big packed loss. This used to have 6 availability, now it's 4. Still very, very useful. Basically, you buy it, click it, Shift F, click on your tanks, gives you tanks exceptional optics, follows your tanks around, gives them exceptional optics, extra round and smoke, bit more firepower, but it's mainly that, you know, the smoke, bit of armor so it can survive a hit from an enemy tank most of the time, some of the time. And exceptional optics. And I think 4 of these is a lot more useful than 1 of these when you've already got a recon helo and you've already got attack helos. So you're getting rid of that and getting these. AA, so Cubs at 1 vet lose 2 availability in exchange for 5% accuracy. That's costing you 3 AP for that 5% accuracy. Get rid of that. Now you can get yourself an extra, like you can come back and get this if you really want, but there's something in the plane tab basically. Iglas at 1 vet, sure, and then Osas at 1 vet, sure. So this is wheeled AA, this is, you know, long range tracked AA. People do like these. I think, honestly, like, this is, you can, like, get this at 1 vet and then just wheel this bad boy around. It's obviously not as good as the Osa at doing that, but whatever, Osas can work. Helo tab, so the AA one I used to really like and now I don't, because enemy, ever since it went down to 8 HP, enemy planes just one-shot it all the time, and so I just don't, I mean it's good against helicopters and that's it, so you can keep it if you want, but I prefer the 155 pointer with the 122mm rockets on it, because they go further, and it's got cocons. Then these also have a lot of cocons. I don't really think this is worth it. So the difference is it's got 20% ECM. You're paying 40 points for less dumbfires, 16 cocons, but it's not broken arrow. It doesn't go doom, 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 doom. It takes absolutely ages for them to shoot, and the enemy always suicides a plane into your helicopter and kills it in one pass. But the 20% ECM might save you. The gun on it is very nice, so maybe it can work. I would be going for either 3 of these, or, yeah, you know, 2 of these instead of these 2, but it's up to you, right? Because the gun on this is very nice as well, but it's got 10% ECM. It's just so much cheaper. 170, 210. You paid 40 points for cocons that you're never going to use, and a gun which is actually apparently worse. Yeah, it's got less range. You're paying 40 points for 10% ECM. Do you feel lucky, punk? I've just saved you 80 points. Give me the money instead if you don't want it. Right, so bombers and stuff. This can one-shot a heavy tank. This reloads in 2 minutes. LGBT, very effective. Drops them 1 at once. So that's very effective. These rocket planes are quite nice, and you get 3 of them. And so, yeah, you definitely do want... like, having the 2 cards of fighters, I think, makes sense. You don't have to have the second card if you've got Cubs and whatnot, but whatever. And then this is a bomber that reloads in 4 minutes. Then you can get the cluster one if you want, or you can get the SU-25 AT, you know, to kill enemy tanks. So yeah, you can just get a plane. And what did we get rid of to get you that plane? I can't. It was 5% accuracy on your Cubs. You've lost 5% accuracy on your Cubs, and you've gained 2 Su-25 ATs, or a plane of your choice, or that dumb helicopter if you want it, the Mickey Mouse one. So that's enough deck yappage for now. Now we'll cover the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk a bit about the map and the matchup. 39Y is just bad 79Y now. It's very sad, but that's what it is. Generally, 39Y wants to play narrow. Doesn't really want to spread out too much. It can, but you don't really want to do that with it. You want to play narrow. 101st Airborne is the complete opposite. You want to play as wide as possible. You want to use your helicopters to get around and stuff like that. And so this map is basically a lot better for 101st than it is for 39Y, because the 39Y player basically has to pick a lane. You could comfortably play this map as a 3v3, I think, if you're a casual player. One lane. But 39Y essentially has to kind of pick a lane, and as you can see, he's chosen the middle one. And the 101st player can basically push everywhere with a bunch of infantry and stuff, superior infantry. Lots of opportunities to use said superior infantry. Not a lot of places to use open ground forces. Like here is nice. You can use a lot of open ground stuff here. Yeah, like this forest, over here, that's okay. You can sort of try and use it here, but generally closer range stuff works very well here. So Metis and stuff like these guys do have Metis squads. Metis, dragons, and stuff like that can usually get some angles around here. So I like the map a lot because I prefer to play wide. But yeah, so I think 101st has the advantage essentially. Looking at the deployments, we've got Issy opening with the Mi-24K straight into Bravo, covered by a fighter. Bravo is the middle zone, basically. So this is Charlie, this is Hotel. Last time I played this on stream, I assumed Bravo was supposed to be my zone on this side. It's weird. I've played this map 4 times. I've been on this side every time. Never actually been on the blue side. Yeah, so Mi-24K Recon Helo backed up by an Su-27. Let's see how that goes. And then Razvedka Saperi going to Bravo, and I think they're in the wrong transport personally, but that's how it is. An Igla for Delta. Most rocky Metis for Delta. Hang on, there's 2 of them. And 1 for Bravo. Saperi RPO for Bravo. Expecting a big fight in Bravo. Osa for Bravo. And a tracked CV for Echo. And then he hasn't passed it around up to Delta, Charlie, Bravo, that sort of thing. Another tracked CV for Alpha. Razvedka BMP 1P for Golf, kind of. Razvedka BMP 1P for just over here to make sure nobody gets through, I suppose. And that looks like about it. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Axis playing 101st Airborne. So we spoke about this in the deck review. Basically, these should be at max vet. You should have 1 card at max vet. Because they'll get to places super duper duper fast. Like this, because the enemy doesn't have Airborne forward deployed, this could easily get to here at the start. So he's playing it too safe, essentially. Especially if it was at max vet, it could get to there no problem. Same with this. This could get, like, to here. In fact, even though it doesn't have the max vet, it could probably get to here before these guys do. The main issue is the helicopter, right? So he doesn't have any forward deployed AA. So typically with 101st, I think you open fighter with it, typically. And the Eagle's better now, so... it's got longer range, as does the Phantom, as we spoke about in the deck review, which you didn't skip. So 10-man Aero Scout Squad going here, so that's quite a big investment. And then... Aero Fire Team 84. Aero Stinger. 2 Aero Rifles Dragon for Bravo. 2 Aero Stingers for Bravo. Aero Scouts for the right, going to just outside of Delta. CV for India, and then Hotel. And then presumably these ones after. Oh no, he's got another CV here for Foxtrot Golf. And then 2 Chinooks with Aero Rifles AT4 trying to deep insert over here. Typically, like, this one should be there. Do you know what I mean? You want it so that you can get to cover as close as possible, as fast as possible. You don't want to just drop in the open like that. And you need to make sure that, so you give it a land order and then you shift click Otherwise, it will just stay on the ground most of the time. Although these have auto cell on and no weapons, so maybe they won't do that. We'll see. So let's cast the game, and we shall do so from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They don't notice when I didn't notice that I actually bought 2 fighters at the start. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, get members exclusive videos. There's that upgraded Phantom there. Managed to take a chunk out of the SU-27S, but the Molder got it. Thing is, the SU-27S has to go home, but does the Molder see the Chinooks? So what Axis could have done here is switched off the auto cell on these and unloaded them, and they would have unloaded 2 rounds into this guy. But I do think it was smart of him to open with a fighter to stop, because 39Y Hilo SU-25 opener is very popular. Or at least it used to be. People don't really play 39Y anymore. But that used to be the opener. 2 SU-25s, an SU-27, and some recon helos like that one, and maybe another regular helo. And you just clean the board. So here we go, first minute's passed, both teams have bought another fight. So Eagle, upgraded Eagle now versus SU-27. He balks, should have gone for the chase there, should have gone for the dive. He's trying to get the aero stinger shooting, and they do kill it. So there you go, it all worked out in the end. The only issue he's got now is that this thing is sort of, you know, killing all his stuff, and his Eagle had to be back again. So what he should have done is not sold these, and then he could have sent them back in. The Delta Force are very good, and you see that they are actually winning this fight. So, and you'll note that Helos seem to have a lot of VFX now when they're wounded. They seem to pour a lot of smoke out of them. This never used to happen, so that's new. So, Issy here basically should have just withdrawn a bit, and then this wouldn't have been able to shoot back, but there you go. Because look, he wasn't actually firing his rockets, now he is firing his rockets at the Delta, and you see how fast the Delta's dying there. And you can still see it from all the way back here, so that was just a miss micro from Issy. And good play from Axis, closing the Delta so that, you know, trying to get under him, basically. So, Delta Force, you see he's turned off the cover here, and he's hid behind the building so he doesn't die. Having said that, his aero rifles aren't making it, and the Stingers finally showed up. So if he hadn't sold those transports, he would have been alright, basically. So, this is on an attack move and then unload order, so it's not actually doing anything. As in, it's not unloading, so if he gets close enough, he can just kill it. And this is a 10-man squad, so we'll see. Over there, the Aero Scouts are engaging the Motostrelki Metis. You'd expect the Aero Scouts to win. Oh, he gave up. I suppose it did unload, and this can just keep reversing. Well, it happens. If he was going to give up, he should have really given up over here, as opposed to... Because, like, now he might just die. Although Issy's not playing very well, this should have come out here and kept shooting, but he's hidden it, so can't do anything. Looks like he's going to get out, so... You can tell the main force is happening over here, right? The main play is happening over here. The Air Rifles AT-4 did manage to drop in, and now they're being given movement orders, so that's cool. And, yeah, the Delta Force did survive, but they need to run away. The Humvee has been bailed out, which is why it's not been sold. He's trying to get some supply up. And Humvee's probably not going to make it. It does not. Delta Force should stop the Motorized Razvedka easily. And the Stingers are at 2 vet, remember, so they have very nice accuracy, 65%. And they should be a match for this Maulding MiG. Maulding MiG, I think, is coming around for the DAP. DAP was used, although he only fired some rockets. He didn't actually use the main thing, which is the gun. Landing before the Molder gets here. Molder still sees it somehow. How the heck did that happen? Alright, whatever. Guess it took a while longer to land than we thought. Aero Stingers hit it, and he's going home. He'll be repairing for about 4 minutes now. Hog sent to take out the Motorized Razvedka, and you see that there's like 3 lanes of combat.
I like money.
Jess David Flores subscribed to the channel.
Thank you for subscribing to the channel, Jess David Florid, was it? Flores. Hang on, that doesn't say Jess. Oh yeah, it does, never mind. So, yeah. Issy breaking the LOS there. The Hog's got to come in and start using its gun or something. Okay, he's just right-clicked it. And, okay, now he's trying to land it because he can see the jet coming. Can you see the jet coming? Hog lands. Gets strafed a lot, but at least the missiles can't fire when it's on the ground. Molder knows the Stinger's there because it fired before. And look at that, the Hog stands up again because he didn't want the Motorized Razvedka killing him. But he will die for that. So he was dead either way. And that's the issue with using healers without fighter support. Here comes the fighter support, the newly upgraded Eagle. Still a piece of junk that can't turn very fast. And that was an interesting missile. But it did suppress him a lot. And if he'd come over here, the Osa would have killed him. So that's probably why he didn't go that way. Or at least, I don't know if he knows about this because it hasn't fired yet. But he had the right idea, not flying over mid. Because at 39Y, you'd expect there to be Cubs here, really. So far so good for 39Y. He wants to play narrow, and he succeeded in playing narrow, right? He's got a couple blocking units, and that's been enough to stop Axis, because Axis is, he's playing narrow. He's playing it wrong. So basically, Axis, he's up here, right? He should be sending more down here. There should be a CV and 2 Stingers coming over here. And a TOW 2. 2 Stingers, a CV, a TOW 2, right? Make sure you, don't put the CV in until everybody else is there, because right now he doesn't know you're here. So if you put the CV in, it goes wah, wah, and it starts glowing blue. It becomes quite obvious then. So you got to make sure you're ready first. But instead, Axis is just playing, pushing in the front. He's been playing too much second Panzergren basically, because that's how you play that div. Whereas 101st, you want to be as mobile as possible. You want to use all the space on the map. So Osa is wheeled, it's being moved forwards, and here come the planes again. 2 Stingers, that one couldn't bend enough, and yeah, he loses a hog there. So just not playing to the strengths of the division. You're not gonna... Oh wow, so that actually hit on the first one. It is at 2 vet, so that's that up vet coming in there. Doesn't hit the second one though, but when it routes, it goes the wrong way, because this game's hilarious. So he's just... because he's not giving that orders, it's just doing that. And wow, there's that 40% ECM. I think he got a little bit lucky there. So, CV coming into here, but he doesn't have the AA yet. So unless he's covering it with fighters, this isn't a good idea. But I like the idea. It's just he should have waited until he'd got a bit more in here, and then put the CV in. But yeah, by putting it here, like, why not put it down the road? Why does it have to come over the open where the guys over here can shoot it? You know this road's clear because you came down this road before. So, yeah. Bit of a weird one there. Just reveal yourself to the enemy, Sun Tzu once said. This guy's only got 1 HP, but he will see it. And that, I suppose he's going to find out anyway. But yeah, imagine if this BMP2 was in the right place, this would be dead. So he definitely knows about it now. How fast will the BMP2 react? Still not reacting. DAP brought back in. The Igla's still there, though. So if the DAP can see the Igla, it needs to focus the Igla. No, he's just shooting the motor strokey. I can hear jet sounds. So... Okay, I mean, it's just a luck thing now. Whether or not he lives or dies. He's just kind of hanging out. What? Okay, whatever. I don't think he was looking. And now, 39Y playing wide. 39 wide. I don't really think this is a good idea. But if he's got the Cubs covering it, maybe. But yeah, like, where's the Igla? You're gonna, what? You're gonna try and fight 101st Infantry in the forest. Not sure that's so smart. CV died. This was pretty predictable. He just didn't have enough here before he went in. And now the enemy will begin reinforcing this whole axis. Haha. So yeah, missed opportunity, I think. He's still trying to win in mid with against the BMP2s, so yeah, it's not ideal really. Almost gets the Osa though. And yeah, I just can't see this breaking through. Let's say this doesn't shoot them right, then he's got plenty of time to buy more, and he can just bring the helos in. Still big on the helos. You don't want 2 of these in one building. That SU-24 is still up. SU-24 bomber, right? Malding MiG, blocked by the Eagles. Remember, the range of the Eagles has increased now, but now he's going to fly over the 2 Osas and the Cub. And oh, there goes one. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. So that survived an upvetted Cub. This is why I don't bother upvetting them. 2 Osas, an Igla, and a third Osa, which just died. So it survived 3 Osas, an upvetted cub, and an Iggler, but the other one died immediately, so there's Warno for you. Wow. Anyway, he's got this in. He does actually have a stinger in it, which is nice. Stinger with it. But yeah, it would have been cool to put a little bit more in here, rather than just continuing to try and win this face smack off against 39Y. It's just never really going to work. I mean, it might work if you're way, way, way better than your opponent. But otherwise, you know, at the very least, you need some recon. Can't see anything. You know, then you can move the meep up and maybe hit a few guys and run off or something. Could use another stinger as well. Enemy seems to like sending planes down here. But in the meantime, Issy has decided that he wants to play wide with 39Y. So neither player really playing to the divisional strengths. Although, you know, Axis has managed to get in here, which is something. And he, you know, he does have a unit in here. So Fire Team AT4 has been spotted, and it looks like Issy's actually just going for Golf instead of Foxtrot. Eagle's coming in. Is this the same one from before? Remember, it didn't get hit once. You see that additional Eagle range coming out there. 2 misses from a Cub will evac any plane. I think at 2 vet planes it doesn't evac, but who's bringing their planes at 2 vet? It's never worth it, basically. You saw that RNG there. It's all RNG, so why reduce your number of dice rolls? Dice rolls is the most important metric if it's all RNG. More dice rolls means more chances to win. So, he's trying to bait him over the stingers, but this thing turns like a brick, and these still have higher accuracy. So now they've got the same range, but this actually still has higher accuracy. And there you go. It got taken out. So, he should have just turned and fought. And then the SU-27 would have flown past anyway, and then the stingers could have shot him. Keep in mind that one of them was out of ammo, so only one of them was shooting. SU-24M gets the Aero Scouts, and it's looking pretty bad for Axis. So, he is on a +1 because he's got Echo, but that's mainly because the 39Y player hasn't bothered doing anything about it. Yeah, Eagle's back out. Remember, he's got 6 fighters. And that was some sort of weird near miss there. But yeah, Issy, he's got the long range AA, and 101st doesn't have that. So yeah, he doesn't want to go anywhere near this thing, basically. And there you go. They get a second sort of near miss thing. I mean, it exploded, but there's no damage. But either way, he's gone on evac now. Thing is, it'll be up quite quickly because it hasn't taken any damage. So all it has to do is just get its mojo back. I'm not sure how long that takes, actually. Mojo is a metric. In the meantime, Issy, with his very slow tracked army, still trying to get over here. I don't understand why he's not going for Echo, really, but I guess he sees all this, right? So he knows that Axis is trying the same thing again. No AA. No supporting units, just send another CV in with the same number of guys you had last time. Keep in mind, he's on a +1, right? So he's got time. Although he's about to not be, he's about to be on a -1, so maybe I can understand the hurry. This Chinook shouldn't be sold. You can use it to scout. The meat needs to just smoke, really. Eagle takes out the Molder. You'd expect that outcome. This guy really needs to smoke. This isn't a building. It looks like one. Oh, he tried to fast move or something, just showed his side armor there. That wouldn't have killed him otherwise, so loses the meat. It's looking pretty bad for blue, I gotta tell you. So looks like Red's gambit of not playing playing wide with a div that isn't really built to play wide. I mean, you can still do it. Nothing's stopping you, right? Just like nothing's stopping Axis from attacking this over and over. Nothing's stopping you, right? It's just it's suboptimal. So you get a lot of people saying like, so the big one is like there's a top player who plays 119Y like a rush div, and he's like, yeah, well, I win. He's not winning because of his strategy. He's just winning because he's got more games than everybody else. So yeah, it's just not that great an idea. So sending in the 1 HP hog to shoot the BMP2s. Thankfully, his opponent wasn't paying enough attention, and this is where the AA helo that he has in his deck would come in handy, I suppose. And I guess the Eagle could strafe it. But yeah, that was very ballsy. I mean, he actually accomplished something there. There's the AA helo. Veto takes out the BMP2. It's really only a matter of time for this zone, though. Eagle's coming in for the VPs now. And so basically he paid 40 extra points for 20% ECM, and you can see the results of his actions. Although, you know, this one did survive. Okay, so I'm not sure what he's doing now. Just eating cub rounds, apparently. And do you see how that suppressed both planes? There's the Humvee. Yeah. Okay, that finally hits him, so now he'll be gone for about 7.5 minutes, something like that, 7 minutes 40. Repairing. It's one way of dealing with it, I suppose. Typically, you don't want the guy with less than 1 HP at the front. It seems to be working out. Basically, this DAP, the gun on this DAP is insane. And so he just used the DAP gun to kill it. And obviously there were other guns involved, but mainly the DAP gun doing most of the work there, I think. So, Delta needs to unload, yeah. And, yeah, it looks like Axis might be able to pick up the BMP-1 here. Just on the edge of the LOS. Great, he gets it. So that's fantastic. There were 2. I'm not sure what happened to the other one. Anyway, in the meantime, Issy finally sorted this out. And then this is what I meant about, you know, if you're going to do it properly. Needed 2 stingers. And like they were just on top of the CV. Like, you know, in the buildings would have been a bit better. 2 stingers, you know, a tow launcher, something like that. Instead of just doing this. But I suppose, you know, this is kind of his main issue right now. Right, Issy's pushing Golf, so Axis has to do something about that. Means he can't really afford to do all this. Here comes the Su-24M to kill the Aero Engineers leaders. They have shot somebody. Once you kill somebody, you need to move. Yeah, he's got it. Because it's like, what's going to happen next, realistically, is it's going to be a plane or a helicopter comes for you. Or artillery. So, oh, wow, even with all that HP. 2 bombs hit him on the head there. And, yeah. Total Aero Engineer leader death. So, he lost a Humvee as well. I think we saw that go down. So he's got like 4 CVs left. Still got plenty of CVs left. As for Red, I've seen Red lose 2 CVs, I think. So plenty of CVs left on both sides. And Issy's on the +1 now. Cool flanking attack here. I guess Axis has realised, well, it can't be that much. If there's all this stuff over here and all this stuff over here, then there can't be too much here. And he's not wrong. So yeah, he needs to get the Delta up, really. I don't know, I suppose this is his main problem. I don't really see what he does. Because he keeps buying helicopters, but the enemy's got air superiority. So he can't really use the helicopters because he keeps losing them. He's got plenty, though. Anyway, Delta Force probably not going to make it. MP Patrol dies as collateral. These guys need to spread out a little bit more. Eagle comes in to try and save the Hogs. Saves. He went on the DAP. And the Eagle... Yeah, so the Su-27 can get shots. The Su-27 is still better, even though the Eagle range went up. Because its missiles still have more accuracy, and it's got a better turning circle. So if they both fight each other, and then they turn on the merge, the Su-27 will kill it on the merge. Every single time. Well, it will get 2 more missiles off on the merge, and the Eagle will not get 2 missiles off on the merge, basically every time. So the Hellfires taking care of the T-80 BVs. Issy just a little bit... Because he bought these ages ago, but yeah, that DAP's probably going to go down now. That's a big shame. I don't know why he's sending 1 HP helos forwards. I guess he just really wanted those tanks. So he does get 1. Just those DAPs are very, very useful. At least he knows the Ziegler's here now. And it looks like Axis has managed to take this zone back. So the aero rifles he dropped here have been slowly coming through. And, you know, 13-man squad in the forest. Very powerful. And, yeah, you know, you can get it to here and whatnot. And then they can't use that road. It's got 6 AT4s, so... This guy's not having a great time, though. And Issy's purchases were not great. Do you know, he was doing really well at the start, and now it's like, what, 40 80 BVs purchased? Well, you've got no infantry screening. I mean, you've got no recon. Like, this is there, sure. These 2 are probably not going to live very long. So you need more BMP2s, basically. You don't really need the tanks. But it kind of shows a bit of the weakness of 39Y, that the T-80 BVs don't have many opportunities to be useful. Here is probably the best place for them, right? Having said that, you know, Issy has taken this back. He is on a +1. He is about to overtake Axis. Sending forward a 1 HP MP patrol to fight the infantry. It's going to go about as well as you might expect. And T-80 BV is just taking names there. The meat does see the motor strelky. It's got 3 machine guns on it. It only has 2, right? So it is better against infantry. Having said that, it steals more HP damage. HE damage. Per regular round. So Helo's repairing, but he can't do anything if there's 4 Iglos here. As for Issy, I think once he clears all this out, he can start moving some of these cubs into mid. You see, the Phantom's definitely going to take this out, I assume. And the Osas... Oh, you know, there's 2 Osas there. Oh! First hit, second hit. So definitely nothing. Welcome to Warno. They are at 2 there. So they've got higher accuracy. At least he's finally put a stinger here now. So, Axis has the zone, but doesn't have the zone. Or he has the zone, but he doesn't have the zone. Or he halves the zone, but he doesn't have the zone. You can tell what I'm trying to say. I do like this wraparound, though. Although I do think it is revealed. I'd be very surprised if this can't see that. So I'm not sure, really. Axis needs to buy a howitzer, I think. Just 1. I mean, he's got 4 in the deck, which I disagree with. I think he should upvet them and only have 2. Or swap some out for some mortars, smoke mortars. Smoke mortar would be very, very useful here. It's kind of hard to use, but like, okay, so imagine you smoke here. Well, then this can just run all the way up to it and take the position. Wow, like, what a force multiplier, right? But yeah, he needs some more of these, like, aero rifle guys in here, like, and then he could kill all this, and then he could just come sweep all this out. The T-80BV is a problem. Okay, so he's going to come in for the Helo Swarm again. There are 4 Iglas waiting for him, so we'll see how that goes. And Issy is pushing this lane, which is a bit weird, really. Axis does have some blocking units. Yeah, generally the quick fix should be going first. I don't know if it can see this. No, it's in blue, so I don't think it can. And yeah, he needs to spread these out a little bit more, because, you know, 1 missile could hurt multiple. So there you go, it definitely could see it, and down it goes. Bomber used. Is he just buying the T-80BVs? I mean, he just... from his deck, he's got a lot more tanks than infantry. It's not a great map for him, really. So, Igla's almost... interesting. Igla fires. Misses. I mean, this does have 10% ECM, and these things aren't the best. Igla over here dies, so he's running across the field, but there's no BMP2s to stop him. It's just a BFTR 60 there. Is this shooting at that? No, it's shooting the infantry instead of the guy that's killing everybody. Okay. This could be coming around and shooting that. Really needs to deal with this, basically. Or he could swing the helos round, because he knows there's at least 1 Igla here because it shot him. So he could bring all this round and help with his attack. CV's coming in a little bit preemptively, in my opinion. The aero scouts have been spotted here. Not having a great time. This AA helo's not been healed yet, and it's being sent in. The stinger that was here is dead, though. It was killed. Think about a bombing wave or something. Although there's an eagle up, so I guess the eagle will go on the AA, but there's a lot of AA. Sorry, on the AA helo, but there's a lot of ground-based AA here, so... Aero scouts to fall. Supplied goat, probably next on the pecking order. Question is he going to dive that, or does he remember that there's loads of AA there from before? It was a while ago. So, Delta Force on an attack move. Oh, he just right-clicked it. Yeah. This guy could reverse and come heal, which is presumably why this is here. This could be sent back, right? Here we go, aero rifles. So he's not got any of the chunky squads left, apparently. Or at least he's not buying them. More Delta Force. And look at this. AA healer coming in. Surely the Eagle goes for it at some point. It's just there is a lot of AA here. That's why I feel so comfortable using it. Sorry if I seem to, like, go very pale and then drop dead. It's because it is 30.8 Celsius in this room. Don't know if you can see that. Obviously, I don't go pale because I'm brown. So I'll just do the dropping dead part. Like, I should have, like, heat tolerance, right? Yeah. Could be in the forest. Where's that Stinger? Stinger's moving up, or one of them is. And these are at max spec because of the CV, and because they're special forces, the 50 cals on them will kill this pretty fast. Watch. BMP2 goes down here. Went a bit deep. And there it goes to the 50 cals. See, I don't watch it ahead of time. I've just got a brain. Although I was wrong about that before, wasn't I? With the Phantom. So, Apache out in front. Typically, you want the quick fix in first. Oh, damn. He's putting this in without any smoke cover. Igloos open up. Quick fix really needs to be in front here. Because he can't see the Igloos. He's diving it. He's changing his mind. Igloos still going to fire. Oh, it goes on the wrong target. Could have killed the hog there. Double meat coming in. Somehow can't see the enemy. That's oh, because it's in the bloody forest. Needs the quick fix. Needs the quick fix. Meep's getting taken out. Smoke fades. T-80BV's going to engage. These guys are not having a great time. Have to smoke. Firing its lawn, not at the CV, because of the way auto-targeting works in this game. It's taken from the Steel Division 2 system. So if your enemy goes to 0 cohesion, it will then prioritize other targets, as opposed to when they're dead. This Meep is finally getting healed. None of his Axis's helos went down, although all the Igloos are still up. But Axis has taken mid. Issy sends some Osas out. Well, Axis just not paying. Okay, no, he sees it now. Delta Force probably going to go down to the Mostrelki. Issy getting very impatient here. Like, he was winning. He doesn't have to be doing these ballsy plays into a div that has a bunch of helicopters. So this is going to go about as well as you might imagine. The only issue Axis has is he's got to buy a CV for this now, and that's... Well, he's got a CV here, actually. You could just send that back. This is a +2, so he should be dealing with that. Aero rifles firing at the Osas, but not in range to use their AT. He needs... he can't use a helicopter against them, so... And he doesn't have a bomber. Right, helos go in on the Igloos. The Igloos are not getting any kills. Quick Fix has taken a hit, somehow. All the Igloos are dying. Is he landing the low ones? No, they're just sat there, getting shot at. Does this have hellfires? Why isn't it shooting? I don't... Oh, it's on low altitude. If he raises the altitude, he can shoot these. I guess he's worried about the Igloo. He's got... all his other helos are getting hit, so I don't understand that, really. I guess he doesn't know. Sometimes they just do this themselves. Nah, he must have done it on purpose to protect it. But why would he when... Like, he's just lost both his hogs now. If he'd raised it, it would have been firing wild. But anyway... Okay, so now... Yeah, he just didn't notice. Because now he's moving it. Su-24M HE comes out, but does not have the nice angle. So it could have got a double delta drop there. Double drop on some delta. Dropped on some double delta. Here we go. Axis just not looking. I guess he was looking over here. Okay, wow, great. So, Axis sweeps this. The Eagle scares off the Su-24. Okay. Okay. It's all energy, right? And, yeah, I guess Axis's next job is to take India. So he's got some blocking forces here to stop reinforcements. And so all that's here are 2 Osas. So I guess Issy is thinking, well, if I'm in his backline, he'll send a helicopter. So this'll do that, and this'll sort that out. They don't have much ammo. 4 rounds between them. Right, here we go. Will they survive this time? No, not so lucky. This is why you don't put them... Like, I mean, look, he's still doing it. Shouldn't all be in the same building. There are exceptional circumstances where it should be in the same building. If you're fighting in a town, just immediately dropping like 4 commandos in one building will just immediately kill the enemy. But you've got to make sure that you spread out immediately, because as soon as the people see that on their screen, they think bomber, RT, helicopter. So yeah, we're really seeing the weakness of 39Y here. He's just buying tanks because he doesn't really have much else, right? Defensive ATGMs. It's not really what he needs. He needs lots of infantry, but he's used up all his... He only gets 2 cards of BMP2s, unlike 79Y, which gets better BMP2s and more cards. Like 4 or 5 cards, I think. Yeah, you know, he gets a lot of tanks, which on this map, not that useful, really. Axis gets tanks as well. They're not as good, but you don't need them as often. Obviously, when you press ranked, you don't know what map you're going to get. Typically, when you're running forwards, you want to go house to house, instead of just right-clicking a helicopter which slowly flies away from you. Anyway, Issy gets back in here. Axis has sorted out India. Took out Anosa, but not the other one. This hasn't landed. It's not actually repairing, it's just on low altitude. These are repairing, apparently. 10 minutes left. And the game is Axis's to lose now. I think Issy kind of threw a bit. Like, so if he just kept mid and not attacked over here, and just held it like that, he would have been fine. He would have just won. Because Axis can't really push very well with his div into Osas and Cubs and whatnot. But he overextended in golf and, you know, tried to attack Foxtrot. And this is what I meant about playing wide. I don't watch these games beforehand. I'm not always right. But it seems to me that Issy should have tried to play a bit more narrow. Obviously, you know, your enemy attacks you somewhere, then you got to do something, right? You can't just do nothing. So it looks like Axis is going to get Delta now. And yeah, Issy's purchases are just weird. Why do you want 5 Sturms? He's given up, basically. So, Aero Rifles taking out the VMP ones.
I like money.
Operations 995 subscribed to the channel.
Thank you for subscribing to the channel, Operations 995. Did I thank the generous channel joiners? Anyway, the TABV dies to 4 laws. So, okay. And he did have Aero Rifles. Okay, I guess he was saving them for something. But yeah, basically, you don't always have to sell these Green Berets ODA. Finally breaking out the big guns. So yeah, I think he needs to hide behind the buildings again. 40-80 BVs is not really going to work out. The Green Berets ODA get 8 AT4s, so... Now he's buying some more CVs. He's getting desperate, though. I'm getting the impression that this hasn't gone his way. And it was that Russian aggression, that Russian elan, even though that's a French word. He wanted more. He wanted to keep attacking, but no. I think 101st has the advantage on a map this wide, and so the 39 wide player should have said, "Well, look, I've got this. I'll sort all this out, and I'll just sit like this and just make sure nobody gets past me." And then he would have been much better off. But he played too aggressively with his div. Really, it's not really what it's about. His div's a very slow div, very narrow div. Bad version of 79Y, I don't see the point of it, really. Anyway, that's very exciting. Wow, these Hellfires are something else, man. So, flinging them all off into space. They do fire while moving, though, so you can do cool things like this. And he's just shooting them in the back now. It's very atmospheric. Reminds me a little bit of Broken Arrow. In Broken Arrow, the helicopters are a lot more maneuverable, a lot more cool. So you see things like this a lot more often. Having said that, Issy just like not smoking, not anything. The fight's gone out of him. The fight's gone out of him. He's like, he could have still won. All he had to do was like not buy all these and then just push back into the corner of this, sort this out, and then just sit on even Stevens on one, you know, because it would have been no takeys then, no point givey. Wow. I'm really explaining myself well today. It's 30.7 Celsius in my room. 30.7 Celsius. So, yeah. Chaparral's finally deployed. I mean, because I saw these two. They were back here for a while. I'm not sure how long. Anyway, the Sturms did about as well as you might expect. Now he's going to try and send this in, but there's an Aero Scouts in there. And Axis is taking over. Next question is, what exactly? What does Issy do? He's really just not got any units. He should surrender, really. But you get people who like, because he was winning, it can be hard to let go. I think Axis did a good job with his helicopters, to tell you the truth. In that they didn't die, and they eventually won him the game by just not dying. He has a lot in his deck, a lot of helicopters in his deck, so that does help. I always find them so hard to use. I mean, the enemy does have a lot of AA, 4 cards of AA, although 2 updated Cub cards I think was a bad idea. 4 fighters as well, 4 good fighters, especially the SC-27S. Anyway, Aero Scouts is going to take out the Voldemort ATGM carrying IFV, and then it should just come kill the Moonstrelky. I mean, it's 10 guys with shock. So get a damage bonus, I think. Well, these guys have... This is explosive. Oh, it's smoke. So I don't know if the shock has actually been activated, because... yeah, that'll save you. That'll save you. He just needs to run into him. He's 10 guys with shock. Anyway, the meat fast moves down here and apparently just kills the TAB. I don't know if it was low HP or what. And yeah, Axis has definitely won this. I'm going to check how long is left, because this guy is just kind of BMing by not surrendering. Okay, he's literally just going to play out the whole thing. I mean, it's quite clear. I hate to do this, you know, because people want to see the game, but like the game is over. He's just not surrendering, and I want to see the kill list. So, you know, Axis, he could like go cross-country to Alpha or whatever, but why bother? You know, he could repair these and get these forwards and then send these down here. He's got a bunch of helicopters, but why bother? He's won. So, yeah, Delta, clean up some more Motvrazvedka. Oh, cool heli attack, slow it down for the cool heli attack. So, Cub here is taken out by the aero rifles, and here we go. We got 4 Apaches, 2 quick fix. We never lost a quick fix. He could have like used his Chinooks, like, because he kept selling them, which obviously lets you buy more infantry. But if you send it in front of your helo, then your helo can do more work because it scouts the enemy, it takes the hits. And look at this big attack coming for Charlie. Is he still refusing to surrender? Even though it's very over. And yeah, it's not going to live very long. Reminds me a lot of Broken Arrow, this. Although if you, I mean, this would be a whole army. Just this. This would be a whole army. Like, whoa, that's too much. Too many units there. It's funny. I literally, because it's so funny. I get Broken Arrow guys telling me that I'm a Warno fanboy and I want Broken Arrow to fail, and it's absolutely hilarious. Because you know, you guys know how much I complain about Warno. So there you go. Issy had it and he threw it all away. And the credit to Axis, he kept his cool. And he played something that wasn't Second Panzergren, so we got to give him some credit for that. Is he ranked 64? They just reset the ladder this week. So he's played 43 ranked games since Monday. Axis has managed 6 in the same time. 39Y though. You might as well just play 79Y, it's just better in every way. The Sturms, see how useful they were. So yeah, really cool back and forth, really nice game. Thought it was a good game. Do let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. GG.